Arm. I am Supergirl.
Hey guys, just finished watching Supergirl, Season 4, Episode 1, American Alien. What an episode this is to start off the episode. I think it was really cool the way they did this. It was a fun episode. So let's start off. The first thing we see is we get Supergirl is taking over for Superman for a while he's off-world. And we find out that he's actually on Argo City. I think that's really cool. I'm glad that we got that idea. I was talking about that a bit about last season and stuff, how I'd like to see what he has to think about that. And next time, whenever we do see him, which we know we will see him for the crossover, he's been seen in that, and they actually just teased. I think I saw some photos of of a black suit Superman, so I think that's really going to be cool to see that when it's Elseworld. So I guess I'm not sure if it's going to be our version of Superman, or is there going to be a different version of Superman who has a black suit? You know, Tyler Hoechlin playing two Supermans type thing. Who knows? Or is he only playing that other version of Superman? You know, we're not having our Superman. This Earth 38. Superman, is it Elseworld Superman? We'll have to wait and see where things go with that. So that was really cool seeing that, just the beginning of like a newspaper and stuff. It was really fun. And it seems to me, and maybe it's because I haven't watched Supergirl in a long time since, last episode of the season 3 and stuff. So it's been a couple of months obviously since I've watched it, but it kind of seemed like the opening, the music kind of sounded like, reminded me a bit of Smallville. I don't know if that has to do with anything to the fact that one of the actors that they have, Sam Witter is actually from Smallville. He played Doomsday. He played the guy who turned into Doomsday, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was named David or something. He actually in Smallville, spoiler alert, but he ends up killing Jimmy Olsen, and then Jimmy Olsen kills him and stuff, and he was transforming into Doomsday. It's whole thing and stuff since they have him in the show, so I'm not sure if that was on purpose, or it's just probably because it's just I haven't listened to this in a long time. So I think it's really cool. It's really fun seeing the opening montage of Supergirl kind of saving the world, and then they did the one over like Russia or something where she was saving a train and stuff, and holy CGI, that CGI looked a bit, it looked okay, but it was clearly very obviously CGI, and it just didn't it just took me out of the episode because of like, oh my god, that CGI looks fake. It looks very fake type thing. So it looked like a train, but it looked very, very fake, so that was just kind of terrible there. It was kind of annoying. And then we get Linda Carter back as a president. She's in this whole episode, so that's really cool. That was really fun seeing that. We get one of John Jones' alien. John Jones is doing some. He's no longer kind of fighting, no longer part of the DEO. He left last season and stuff, and he has like this kind of alien therapy group session type thing. And one of the aliens is actually attacked, and they kind of break into is he actually a scientist, and they break into his lab and steal some stuff. And John Jones thinks it's a hate crime because he's an alien, and Supergirl doesn't think so. She thinks it's just a coincidence that he was an alien because they were just stealing his science stuff since he's a scientist. And later on, she has to, she believes that. And I like that kind of dynamic that they had in this episode by having, Supergirl, she thinks that she sees everything from her perspective. She's an alien, but she looks human, she couldn't look more innocent, as an alien, She looks so innocent. She couldn't look more, you know what I mean? I think that's really an interesting idea, that she looks human. She looks accepting. She looks more welcoming, than it would be with someone who has, spikes growing out of his arms, or, a deformed head, or like a, bird's head type thing. I think that's really an interesting idea, and playing with that, I think, is really going to be fun throughout this season. I think that's obviously what they're setting up for the kind of the season storyline. I think that's really going to be cool to where things are going to go with that. And then we have Alex kind of just having trouble with Brainiac, since she's kind of acting him as Win and stuff. That was kind of cool there, and that's when we get him. We see him dressed up as Win and stuff, and he got the gun from the Excelsior, or I think the Excelsior was the name of the street in the where the comic book shop was, which is a cool Stan Lee reference there. But really, it was kind of fun seeing that there, and I definitely can't wait to see. It was a nice reference to Stan, and I think it really is cool, since I think he has, I'm not sure if he worked on Supergirl. I know obviously he hasn't written Carol Zor-el's Supergirl, but he did do the DC stuff where Stan Lee imagines and stuff, and he reimagined Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Justice League. I think he did Aquaman. I forget if he ever did Supergirl. I know he did Superman, obviously the big, the core popular characters and stuff, what if Stanley had imagined them and stuff, which I think it would be cool, is to see, what kind of stories would he write with Supergirl, with with Superman and stuff like that. It would always be an interesting idea to see where things go. As he always talks about how he doesn't get how they fly type thing. I think that would be kind of an interesting idea, which I think if he would ever have a cameo in the DC stuff, which I think I know he already does in the Teen Titans movie. I think he has the Teen Titans Go, he has a cameo, but if he ever did, it would be to have him on here and just pretty much, maybe Supergirl saves him, stops a car from hitting him type thing, and he could kind of say something like where, how the hell do you fly, what gives you the power of flight? And that would be a cool fun reference to, how he can explain how Thor flies using the thong of his hammer, as Stan puts it, and he's able to throw his hammer and the thong kind of pulls him away, right? And Superman just kind of flies with no explanation, right? I think that's kind of a cool there. So it was a really cool Marvel Stan Lee Easter egg in this DC TV show. I think that was really cool. I'm not sure if they wanted to have another Easter egg, then they could do that. I think it really is cool doing that there. So we see that John Jones won't fight since he took his father's words and stuff, and he made a promise to his father that he wouldn't fight and stuff. And even when Kara goes to his place, he's in his traditional robes and stuff. And I think that's a really interesting idea as to where things are going to go in with that. And my question is, especially when he was at the round, with the group meetings and stuff, is everyone, the people, Luthor has made these, or at least L-Corp has made these image inducers, which can make these aliens look human and stuff. And I think that's an interesting idea, is, he talks about how some of them want to stay hidden, and that alien scientist who didn't want to get hidden, I think, what was his name? Do they have his name here? I don't see his name written here or anything like that. Or Dr. Voss. So I think that's kind of an interesting idea. It talks about how, we need to, why should we have to hide type thing. And I think that's an interesting idea to do that. And then I would also want to bring that to John Jones himself, as why isn't he openly out as John Jones? He is out there. The world has already seen him back, I think it was season 1 when Supergirl went, I think it was Red, the title of the episode, when she took on Red. She was infected with red kryptonite. He had to kind of reveal himself to the world, and everyone knows that he's John Jones, and they all call him John, right? But why not have him in the green, constantly? Why wouldn't he stay in his Martian form type thing? And I think that's an interesting idea. And I think last time, was it last season or something? But last time we saw, or a while back when we saw Linda Carter her as the president, since we know she's an alien, she has also said that, why won't you live openly like that? And he's like, some of them are just not ready to do that. And I think at this point, it's an interesting idea as to why would he not do that too, join them and be openly green all the time. Now I understand why they're not doing it on the show, because he's a CGI character and it would be difficult to keep in CGI all the time. To cost the budget, it would cost too much to do that, and the actor wants his kind of his face out there. Otherwise it's like, why are they paying him this much, for his likeness, right, and all that stuff? But I think it would be an interesting idea is to see that and maybe get that and play a bit more onto that, and have other aliens kind of ask him completely, why do you keep doing this, why, and then have him deal with that and then get an explanation as to is he still kind of hiding deep down, is this how, get an explanation. And kind of, I think it would be an interesting idea to do that, is to find out as if he's not doing that, how does it do that, and give me a better answer than just, it would cost too much on the TV show. I mean more than just that. I know that makes sense and stuff, I know that, but I just want a bit more as to why he's not green all the time. And I think that I'd like to know, is he in that, how does he feel about that? Why is he doing that? How is his emotional state for that, right? I think it'd be quite cool to get into that and get that kind of question. And you have to keep him in that kind of, I'm not ready to be completely out there. He's not ready to expose himself completely. I think that would be an interesting idea. And does he never get over that? And that's how they keep that. I think who knows? It'd be a fun thing to play with there. So Supergirl ends up catching a bunch of the terrorists and stuff, who are the what are they called here? They have their names. Nina Null, we have the Graves, Marcy Graves and Otis Graves. They end up she catches one of them as they attack the president, and the president gets outed as an alien. That's where we end the episode. And we also just see that the Russians are using their Supergirl from the very last ending of last season. to kind of make a tunnel type thing. So that's going to be interesting to see, to playing with that. I guess they're using the Red Sun kind of storyline, which I guess is something I've heard of that storyline, but I've never really read that one yet. So I'm probably going to be looking that up, probably watching it or checking it out, maybe a summary on YouTube or something. But I think it's really going to be cool to see where things are going with that. And I like the idea that they're jumping right into this storyline. We even get to see Agent Liberty right away in this episode. I'm surprised that we're not seeing his face, since the actor is played by a Smallville alum, although he was only on like a couple of like seasons. I don't think he was on maybe 3 seasons or maybe 2 seasons, really. I don't think he was on that many, but still, it was pretty cool. He was still on there, and I recognize him a lot from there. Especially since he played Doomsday on there. I think that's kind of a standout role, obviously, for Smallville. So I think it's going to be cool to see if we get to see his face, obviously. I think it would be cool to see that. And a lot of people would recognize him, not only from Smallville, but from the Star Wars games and stuff. So I think that would really be cool. Surprised that we didn't get a face reveal in this episode at all. Maybe next episode. But I did recognize the voice, and it is really cool seeing him back. But like I said, I'd like to see a connection between the Agent Liberty storyline and the Russian Supergirl storyline. I'd like to see a version of that and see how things kind of connect with that, and to where things are going to go with all that. I think it could be quite cool as to where things continue on. I think it could be quite interesting to see how things kind of build up and where things kind of go with all that. And hopefully there could be some sort of team up, between Agent Liberty and the Russians. Maybe he uses them. Maybe they have they're against aliens too. I imagine they would be, right? I think that would make sense, and I think it'd be really cool to see them teaming up, and maybe the Supergirl ends up being the evil Supergirl, so could even be on Agent Liberty's side, but having them come together in an organic way that makes very much sense. I think right now we're obviously for only episode 1 of this season, but I think it's going to be cool to see how they do come together. Hopefully they do come together and not just have 2 separate storylines that never connect. So far, just on the face of it, they seem like such far opposite storylines that, are they ever going to connect? It's really going to be annoying that, if they never do connect. But I can't even begin to imagine how, but hopefully they do connect, because it'd be quite annoying to not have it connect. So all in all, I'm really excited to see where things are going to go with this stuff. I think it's going to be fun to see how things continue on from here, and maybe see if we get to see Lois Lane, since we do know obviously she's been cast. I think I did see some stuff on her Instagram that she's kind of watching. She was watching at least the first episode of The Flash. I saw her, she posted that she's kind of she's researching for her role, right, watching The Flash and stuff. I think that's really cool. It would be interesting to see if we get to see any of her before the crossover. Could be fun. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe she kind of stops by, or maybe we get to see, I'm not sure if we're going to get to see Lucy Lane stop by, General Lane, or anything like that. It would be quite cool, but I think it's going to be quite interesting to see where things go here. So I'm excited for this season. Definitely like this storyline, especially dealing with the aliens and stuff, but I like to see where the kind of storyline and the Russians things kind of keep coming into it, so they reminded us about it early on in the season. They didn't just leave it dangling from last season. I think it's really going to be cool to see where things go, and hopefully we can get, like I said, a connection between the two. Hopefully they could be the two, because we don't know what the Russians are using the Supergirl for. It looked like they were having her make a tunnel, and then trailers for the next episode don't look too interesting or anything like that. Nothing just yet, but we'll have to wait and see as to where things kind of go, and how things kind of could come full circle, and all the storylines could come together. So who knows, but we're a bit early on, and I'm kind of excited to see where things go. So let me know what you think, guys, about this in the comments below. What's your favorite part? Which storyline are you more excited for? Are you more interested in the Agent Liberty storyline, this Russian Supergirl storyline? Which one are you interested in that? And what do you think is the reason as to why John Jones is not sticking in green form? Do you think, is he not over that part of, of hiding type thing? And understand it's all about the Martians. They're shapeshifters. They don't have really in his form, but are they not when he's looks like David Harewood, right? When he looks like Hank Henshaw, is he not constantly using his powers to do that? To hold that shape, just like Mystique, when she Mystique gets blindsided and hit without getting notice. She falls asleep or something, her powers turn off, she reverts to blue, right? She gets punched and she gets knocked out, she reverts to blue. What was it, Mystique in Days of Future, was it Days of Future Past? I think, was it any explosions, and the Quicksilver scene in the last one, Apocalypse, she pulls her out as Jennifer Lawrence, you know, and then he drops her, and then she reverts to blue and stuff. I think that would be something to play with also on this show. Is he, you know, when he sleeps, is he still John Jones, or does he change? You know, how does that work? I think it'd be something fun to see. I definitely can't wait to see where things kind of go with that, as to, you know, is he always holding it? How does that work? You know, can he, and if he gets, you know, can he slip and all of a sudden, you know, be green and stuff? I think there would be some things to play with this show, and also with this whole kind of alien, you know, thing, registration type thing. Could be a fun thing to play with this alien, especially with, you know, the title being American Alien. So it's really going to be cool to see where things go with this, how things kind of go. I think it could be kind of interesting to see now that there are more aliens around there. I think it could be fun, and then to see how things kind of go. But like I said, I'd like to see where the things are going to go for Russia and stuff. But I think the whole Russia having a Supergirl, I think it needs to be more than just them fighting aliens. They're not just going to go around purifying, you know, getting rid of the aliens, and that's what Agent Liberty is pretty much doing. He's kind of going around getting rid of just aliens, but I feel like the Russians are going to be looking at more than just that. So I think that could be cool to see as to where things are going to go with that, and hopefully we can get a Russian team up with Agent Liberty, and maybe he can connect over there. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see where things go with this, but I'm really excited for this season of Supergirl. So what do you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Oh, Excelsior.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes
Subscribing
is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.